Hello English learners, this is Learn English with Brandon, and in this video I have some word building for you. It is with the with the verb compare, to compare something, right? Well, when we compare things, we're generally comparing prices or comparing sizes of clothing, or maybe even comparing taste between different foods. Perhaps if you're buying chocolate and you want to compare the difference in flavor between any two items, right? So we do this a lot in English, and we have the basic conjugations of this verb. I compare, you compare, he, she, it compares, and they and we compare as well. But now when we move this into a noun, when we take this word and turn it into a noun, do you know what it is? It is comparison, right? And we generally make comparisons. We don't really do comparisons. We do comparing, but we make a comparison between two or more things, between two or more objects. So I I need to make a comparison, or I want to have a comparison or see a comparison between these two pairs of jeans, right? I would like to make a comparison between them. Maybe I want to try them on and see how they're different, see if they're the same, maybe hold them next to each other and see if the color's different, right? Okay, now as an adjective, let's go back to the same example with jeans. Well, first of all, what's the adjective? The adjective here, can you guess? It's comparable, right? So let's say at one store they sell Levi's for 60 euros, and at another store they sell the same pair of Levi's for 40 euros, right? Well, in this case, the prices aren't really comparable. There's a better deal somewhere else. But in general, at least with what I've seen, this is not the case. The prices are generally comparable with these pants, right? So, with these pairs of jeans or trousers, yes, these are all the same thing. So the prices are comparable, right? Prices is a noun, comparable, adjective, right? Now let's look at the adverb. The adverb is pretty close to comparable, but can you guess what it is? Can you guess what the adverb is of compare? Comparably, right? Comparably. What verb should we use this with? These, you could say, well, let's see, these purchases are comparable to the purchases we made the other day, but comparably, we do this all the time. Comparably, we make purchases like this all the time, if that helps. Comparably isn't really often used, okay? But it helps to know that this is the adverb in case you get stuck and you need to find a place where you do need to use it. There are going to be modifications to many verbs, to many nouns, and to adverbs and adjectives, but just because that's the case, it doesn't just because we can do that and we have it in our language doesn't necessarily mean that we use it all the time. Just like with certain verbs, the basic conjugations aren't really used all that often either. We have them there in English, but just like in your language, there might be certain things that do function grammatically and yes, do make sense grammatically, but we don't use them so often. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I'll see you in the next one.